In the growing process of becoming a major league pitcher, there are bumps and bruises along the way. Mike Minor has taken those hits and has now started to turn the pitching corner. Over his last 10 starts, Mike has been one of the Braves' most consistent starters with a 2.87 ERA. It's September, and Atlanta needs this Mike Minor down the stretch as they push towards a postseason appearance. Stay hot, Mike, and let's get this man some runs. Mike Minor takes the mound against the Rockies next. It's another warm night in Atlanta, and we join you once again from Turner Field for Game 3 of our 4-game series between the Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies. The series so far tied at 1 game apiece. And we welcome you upstairs with Joe Simpson and Tom Glavine. Chip Carey with you here at the ballpark, where we have an intriguing pitching matchup. 2 youngsters go at it in Game 3 of the series. Mike Minor, Tom Glavine, gets the start for the Braves, and he's been pitching pretty good baseball of late.
Yeah, he really has, and unfortunately, probably better than his numbers will indicate, at least from a one-loss standpoint. Really has turned the corner here. You see in his last 10 starts, he's 3-4 with a 2.8 ERA. Arguably, with that good of an ERA, that could easily be a 5-2 or a 6-1 record. But unfortunately, you see that bottom piece, not much run support. So hopefully that will change tonight. For the Rockies, Joe, last night we got to see one piece of the Ubaldo and Menez trade. Tonight we get to see another.
Alex White goes, Tom, and he's also a former first-round pick and a guy who's got a big arm. And he's a big guy. He's 6'3", 215 out of University of North Carolina, where he was all ACC and All-American. But a good arm. You're seeing evidence of it here. Good hard sinker, split, and a slider. Braves will have to contend with him tonight, trying to get him to get the ball up a little bit so they can elevate some of those sinkers.
This Colorado ball club plays in the National League West, but it has a distinct southern flavor. And when we come back, Tom Hart will tell you about the Rockies' southern roots as we continue before Game 3 of the series in Atlanta right after this.
Between the Braves and the Rockies. And several of these Rockies know exactly where Turner Field are. They are Southern men that are proud and happy to be back playing near home. In fact, if you take a look at their roster, it is littered with Georgia natives and folks who either played their high school or college ball throughout the South, starting with Dexter Fowler, the pride of Milton High School. He was the first-team high school All-American at Milton. He had 2 hits in the game yesterday. There's a reason Chris Nelson, the third baseman, wears number 10. That is Chipper Jones, one of his boyhood idols. The Redan High School graduate is also a first-round pick. And Charlie Blackman played at Georgia Tech. He's excited to be back in here. He's a huge Braves fan from back in his days growing up in Gwinnett. And finally, Rex Brothers is a guy who spends his offseason training with tonight's starting pitcher, Mike Minor. They played travel ball together as just 15-year-olds. And anyone you see in that Rockies clubhouse is basically a tie to Atlanta. And they're all excited about playing back at Turner Field. They've done a good job calming their nerves.
The first experience last year was a bit overwhelming as far as, growing up watching the Braves. But this year it's a little different, kind of more calm. And, it's fun to come back here, especially, like we were talking about earlier, growing up watching these guys and all the success they had and the names and just to come here and play, it's a good experience.
It's exciting. It's exciting to see my family, my friends, and my little nieces and nephews, and everybody get to come out and see me. It's fun to play in front of them.
I had this poster over my bed when I was a kid, and it was like Fred McGriff, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and I think Chipper was on there, but he was at the time. I think he was one of the younger guys, one of those in the corner, a little smaller guy in the corner. But he's definitely grown to be, one of the faces of the franchise, and he's had a great career here in Atlanta.
And all of these young guys have had at least some sort of success so far in the series. The biggest challenge, finding enough tickets. As one Rockies coach pointed out to me, these guys this week are playing for free with all the money that they're giving out and gratis tickets to their friends and family here at Turner Field tonight and throughout the week. Well, it's a third of 4 between the Braves and Rockies in Atlanta, looking for a win behind Tennessee native Mike Minor. Can he find a win? And can Atlanta native Jason Hayward bring in some offense? First pitch is coming up next with Chip, Joe, and Tom.
At the TED, it's the Rockies and the Braves, Game 3 of our 4-game series. And all year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day. Rockies were rude guests last night. They shut out the Braves by a 6-0 final score. And here's how Jim Tracy lines them up for Game 3. Fowler, Rutledge, and Gonzalez. That trio's been swinging the bat very well, as has been Jordan Pacheco with a 14-game hitting streak. We get our first look at Andrew Brown as a starter. He's in right field, and as the fellows mentioned, Alex White makes his first start against the Braves. He's 2-7 for the year.
Mike Minor on the mound for the Braves, making his 26th start on the year. Overall 7-10. You see his season-long splits. First 10, 2-4 with a 6. Struggled a little bit, but started to figure some things out. And his last 15 starts been really good. 5-6 with a 3.3 ERA. And like we mentioned, if we can just get him some more runs.
Well, that would be the tonic tonight. Is Ford keys to pitching success tonight. Big innings. Sometimes he gets waylaid. He'll go through 2 or 3 innings, 3 up and 3 down, then run into a big inning that really costs him. His success, the second half, Chip, has come from fastball command to both sides of the plate. He needs to stay right there tonight.
Dexter Fowler's the Rockies' leadoff man. Dexter's 2 for 9 with an RBI so far in the series and hitting .308 for the season. Line to Freddie Freeman. Good start. Boy, if that ball was hit about 5 feet to Freddie's right, it might have been trouble. Look at where those shadows are on the right side of the diamond.
And playing in case he dropped a bunt down too, so had to be quick on those reactions.
Josh Rutledge is the hitter. And filling in for Troy Tulowitzki. Look at his offensive work. He's been a terrific find for Colorado. And he pops this pitch up into shallow right. In comes Jason Hayward. He's got plenty of room. 2 quick outs for Minor. Here's the rest of the Braves defense as presented by Freddie Gonzalez. Jose Costanza gets the start in left field. Martin Prado in at shortstop. Just a day off for Paul Yanish. Dan Uggla gets a start tonight. And good to see Brian McCann back in harness behind the plate.
Yeah, and good to hear that he feels good tonight too. I'm sure Dan Uggla thrilled to get back out there tonight as well.
Carlos Gonzalez has had a big series, 4 hits, including a long homer, and hitting .312 for the year.
After that home run he hit last night, I'd say go ahead and lay down a bunt. Have at it.
Good pitch, 2 balls and a strike. Joe mentioned fastball command, a key for Mike. He has had that. He's really cut down on his walks. If he's given up a home run, it's usually been a solo home run.
Yeah, I think that's why his innings have been quicker by and large, Chip, and why the point about the big innings is that by cutting down on the walks, he's having more 1, 2, 3 times with it. So walks are never a good thing.
Never.
Can't think of a good time for one.
Well, the base open and Babe Ruth up at the plate maybe.
Yeah, but you knew that was going to happen anyway. So
yeah. No, but it's funny. It seems like we talk about all the time. His turnaround has been all about fastball command, and for Tommy Hanson to get things back on track, he needs to find fastball command.
Talked to Tommy today to ask him how he felt after last night's start. He said other than the usual soreness after a start, he felt great. His back is good, so that's a good sign too. Something for him to build on.
And he felt his fastball command was much better. And Minor works carefully to Carlos Gonzalez and walks him with 2 outs. Here's our umpiring crew. Jordan Baker, the rookie behind the plate. Gary Darling at first. Paul Emmel at second. and Scott Berry at third base. If you missed the game last night, you saw a great bit of umpiring by this crew on a play in the Braves' first inning. We'll show it to you a little bit later on. Great hustle, great communication, and they got the call right. It was really impressive, I thought. It was that man behind the plate, Scott Berry, who helped out Jordan Baker, who was last night's first base umpire.
Miner's got a pretty good move to first base, and he's not shy about throwing over, but at some point I figure the Rockies are going to test Brian McCann. They know why he's been out of the lineup. They'll want to know if he's able to throw.
Gonzalez 16 out of 21 in stolen base tries for the Rockies. Very short lead, and now it's 3-0. Got to pay attention to Pacheco, a 13-game hitting streak. 8 RBIs and 9 runs during that stretch. Mike Minor would like to worry about Hernandez in the second. Runner goes. Good jump. Ball 4. 2 on, 2 out.
We talked about this a couple of nights ago when Chris Medlin was doing his thing, and talked about his willingness to pitch to contact, not afraid to get hit, and as a result he racks up a lot of fast innings and a lot of outs, quick outs. And I think Mike Minor could learn from that, and that just don't be afraid of contact. Don't be afraid of making a pitch that might be a little too good just to make sure you throw a strike.
Yeah, that's something that takes time to learn. It takes time to get confidence in, learning how to pitch to that contact, but towards the end of the bat.
First pitch swing by Hernandez after back-to-back walks. Minor will take that. And the Rockies are out of luck in the top of the first inning. Atlanta coming up against Alex White. You are right on the action down near the SunTrust Club. And the Braves go to work in the bottom of the first inning. It's 76-60 for the year. A couple of changes. Martin Prado in at shortstop, still hitting second. Chipper's back out there in the cleanup spot. Brian McCann's behind the plate. Dan Uggla, Jose Costanza, and Mike Minor, the Braves pitcher.
They'll face Rockies right-hander Alex White. making his 18th start on the year. 2-7. You see his home road splits: 8 games at home, 1-4 record, 9 games on the road, 1-3 record, and uncharacteristically, the ERA is higher on the road than it is at home. So keep an eye on that here tonight.
That doesn't happen very often for a Colorado pitcher. His 4 keys to success: down and dirty. Everything's got to be down for him to be successful, with good movement, the sinker, the slider, and he's probably campaigning for more pitches. 75 may not be enough for him, because in August he made 7 starts and got only 1 decision. 6 straight no decisions until his last start in the month.
Well, getting a no decision is almost a win.
I think it is in this system.
Michael Bourne ahead in the count, 2-0. And now 3 balls, no strikes. And on 4 straight, Bourne's aboard to start the Braves offense. Colorado's had defensive troubles all year. They had a great game defensively last night, however. Gonzalez, Fowler, and Andrew Brown now in right field. Josh Rutledge, a very impressive shortstop. Chris Nelson's an Atlanta kid. And Ramon Hernandez is behind the plate. Martin Prado's played 5 different positions as a Braves starter this year. Tonight, he's the shortstop. And the system that Joe was speaking of regarding the Rockies is as follows: 75 pitches for the starter, 50 pitches for the man that follows him on the mound in the game, and then after that the Rockies match it up.
See, but I think going back to something I said the first night, that if they're going to be limited to 75 if they're pitching well, I think they ought to be made to pitch 75 if they're not. Stay out there.
Yeah,
until you get your 75, and then we'll take you out. Figure it out.
Kind of like a spring training game. You're out there. It's more about your pitch count than it is anything else.
I talked to Jim Tracy at length about the system, and he is, as you'd expect, kind of tired of talking about it. It's been an ongoing thing for him, but this is the first time we've seen the Rockies since this new system was put in place. And more than anything, what Jim said is they're trying to preach efficiency to their pitchers. We saw Pomeranz last night average about 25 pitches per inning. Here's White. He hasn't thrown a strike yet. And you can't walk people and pitch behind consistently and win, especially at Coors Field.
And you know, I know we're going to talk about this as the game goes on, but I guess one of the questions I would have that I didn't think of earlier but just did. So if you're trying to teach efficiency, does that mean that this is being implemented in the minor leagues?
Good question.
Because you're not going to learn, if you haven't learned efficiency by now.
Squib toward first. Checo steps on the bag. Bourne to second with 1 out.
You know, this is a tough place to be learning efficiency. So start it out in the minor leagues. Make these guys understand, look, here you got 75 pitches to play with. Go out there and have at it. See what you can do with it.
That's a great question. Don't know. And you see Bo McLaughlin, the Rockies co-pitching coach. Bob Apodaca started the season in that position and resigned after the Rockies implemented this new system. Here's Hayward, runner at second with 1 out. First chance for the Braves with a runner in scoring position. As we talked earlier in pregame show, Braves Live, this is the area where the Braves collectively have struggled the last couple of weeks, really last month or so.
It's got to pick up. Any team that's going on a good streak is usually hitting good with men in scoring position.
Yeah, it seems like another one of those broken records. As much as we talk about fastball command when a pitcher's going well or when he's struggling, you get back to that. Seems like as a team, when your team's going well or they're not going well, it's that runner and scoring position average that you always seem to get back to talking about. And it's usually not good when things aren't going well.
The Braves so far in this series are 2 for 16 against Colorado pitching with runners in scoring position.
Well, and let's face it, as you look at the last 17 games and those numbers and the average runs per game, the Braves won the first night 6-1, and their 6 runs, they scored them on 2 hits, thanks to a bunch of errors and some walks.
Well off plate, 1-2 your count. And as a result, Freddie Gonzalez has been shuffling guys in different spots in the batting order, shuffling personnel in and out of the batting order to try to find a combination that will click. Ground ball to second. Or into third, but that costs Atlanta its second out. So pick your poison. Do you want Chipper or do you want Freeman if you're Colorado?
If I've only got 75 pitches, I'm going after Chipper.
Well, we'll find out how efficient he is right here.
Yeah, I wonder if the intentional walk pitches count.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hate, look, I'm sorry. I hate to sound like a cynic, but I mean, that's the stuff that I know. It goes through these guys' minds. I know it does. It has to.
I mean, Dave Baker made a great point. If the intentional pitches or the intentional walk pitches count, why not just drill him?
Absolutely.
Saves you 3, right?
Saves you 3.
Ball 1 strike.
In fairness to Jim Tracy, he did tell you that it's not a hard, fast number. It's not like they get to 75, they're definitely out. I mean, there is some leeway, but, it begs the question, do guys think that way? Hey, I want to pitch around this guy because I got a base open.
Little number back to the mound, and White lobs to first.
3 ground ball outs. That's what he needs.
And 16 pitches. So he's right on pace for the Rockies, and we have no score after 1. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Toyota. No scores. We head to the second inning. Mike Minor to work facing Chris Nelson. Chris celebrated his birthday before game 1 of this series. Had a double in the opener. Was hitless last night, but scored a run. Nelson's out of Redan High School and wears a most conspicuous number, doesn't he, Tom?
He sure does. He said he's a huge Chipper Jones fan growing up, and it is not a coincidence that as a third baseman he wears number 10.
Fouled back, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's had a good year. First opportunity for him to play essentially every day. That didn't happen right at the beginning of the season, but he worked his way into it.
Chris was headed to the University of Georgia to play baseball before the Rockies signed him as a #1 pick. And he's the first out in the top of the 2nd inning. Nelson 1 for 8 in this series. Good start for Minor, and here's Mr. Brown.
That was a good sign by David Perno, but I bet he had a feeling that his chances of getting Chris Nelson over to the campus were pretty slim, especially after the draft.
Andrew Brown at .260, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. He's had a pinch hit appearance in the series. Yeah, talking with Jim Trey, the Rockies are playing like they are. As Joe has said, they came to town a pretty hot team. Winners of 14 of their last 20, with 12 rookies on their roster, and 6 of them in the lineup last night.
Yeah, they've got some good young players, guys that seem to certainly be taking advantage of their opportunity to go out there and play. Seem like they can play, and seem like they have a good nucleus.
Think of the 2 teams we've seen recently that made some trades and got prospects. The Padres got a lot of position players, and good-looking young position players. And for the Rockies and their deal with Jimenez, they got pitching, wanted pitching back, and we've seen those 2 guys the last 2 nights, including Alex White tonight. Just a little different approach.
And wouldn't you guys agree that's how they're going to have to get it? They're going to have to draft their own and trade for it. Signing free agents there would be very, very difficult.
No, they've had a hard time signing free agent pitchers to go there to begin with, and with this new pitch count thing, it's going to be even harder, I would think.
I would think, though, from a position player standpoint, if you feel like you're a pretty good hitter and you get drafted by the Rockies, sign me up.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't wait to get to Coors Field.
And conversely,
as a pitcher, you're thinking, oh boy. But that doesn't last long, because you got an opportunity to play professional baseball, and you don't necessarily care where it is.
And they've done a nice job of having their AAA team at Colorado Springs, so that kind of primes the pump for their pitchers. Get used to pitching there because it's pretty similar.
swing and a miss by Brown. Mike Minor has his first strikeout of the game, and he's quickly got 2 outs. Georgia Power's EarthSense commercial energy efficiency program offers rebates to encourage business customers to incorporate high efficiency measures into their facility. Visit georgiapower.com/commercial savings for more. Say that one time fast.
Yeah, that was good. You did a nice job.
Kind of refer to that as CEE in the business, commercial energy efficiency. Right, Laser?
So if efficiency is the theme for tonight, if we read that promo again, can we just call it Georgia Power's CEE
Yes.
thingamajig? DJ LeMahieu's up, former Cub, and he's ahead 2 ball strikes.
Mike's working fast this inning, and he's firing a few more fastballs. 93 on the strikeout, and that first pitch to LeMahieu, a good one.
to short. Martin Prado gets rid of it quickly. 3 up, 3 down. Mike Minor is pitching well. Freddie Freeman's going to lead things off in a scoreless Atlanta second. Freddie Freeman, Brian McCann, Dan Ugler coming up. Let's check out the highlights from the Mets and the Cardinals. R.A. Dickey on the mound, having a great year for the Mets.
St. Simons native Adam Wainwright, former Brave, hit a home run. That's not his first athlete. Well, he needed to be a little more athletic on the mound today.
Yeah, didn't quite have that part of it going today.
How about R.A. Dickey? 18 wins. He's got to be a strong Cy Young candidate for the Mets, whom we'll see on the upcoming road trip. And there is the wild card chase. The Braves lead St. Louis by 2.5 games. The Dodgers a game behind St. Louis. The Pirates 2 back for the second wild card.
Yeah, the Dodgers, even with all those moves, still really haven't strung much together, have they?
Got a tender elbow Chad Billingsley now. Should be a big loss for them.
You don't see pitchers wearing single-digit numbers either. Number 6 for Alex White. Kyle Drabeck, I think, for Toronto, the first guy I saw to do it. I think he wears number 4.
You don't see it too often.
Did you pick your number, Tommy, or did Bill Acree just say, "Kid, here's what you're wearing"?
When I showed up, it was hanging in my locker.
In the air to right, but Brown's going to catch it. There's the first out. Hearty welcome back for Brian McCann. And Tom Hart has more on Brian's return to the lineup tonight.
All right, thanks, Chip. Been out a few days, got a cortisone shot in that right shoulder on Saturday, and excited to be back in what has been a tough season for him thus far.
It's kind of been a weird year, you know. I've never really had to deal with injury before in my whole career, and I'm just battling, and today I feel this is the best I've felt in a long time as far as my shoulder is concerned, and I'm excited going forward and see how it holds up.
And guys, after BP told me the biggest improvement after that shoulder was fixed is he feels he can now get his arms and bat extended.
In the air down the left field line, Gonzalez is there, and 2 men are out.
And that was the one thing that he had to really be concerned about, was getting extended, and especially one-handed, and having the weight of the bat pull on that shoulder. So that gives him some confidence. That's a good thing. David Ross getting a rest as a result of Mack being back in the lineup tonight, and I'm sure David could use it because of his ailing oblique muscle.
Dan Uggla gets the start at second tonight. For those who wondered about what has been termed the benching of Dan Uggla, it is not a permanent exile for him. Freddie Gonzalez has said he's going to find places to use him. We saw him pinch hit and play in the field last night. Gets the start tonight. Obviously, Joe, Dan's still a very important piece to this Atlanta offense.
Still a threat every time he goes up there. When I said the other night that he just has to be ready, stay ready for every opportunity that comes along. The one thing that he can't do is try to get it all back in one swing or one pitch, one at bat.
That ball was tattooed. Gonzalez dives and robs him in left. A sinking line drive is hauled in by Carlos Gonzalez. And Dan Uggla out of luck in the Braves second. We head to the third, still scoreless. McDonald's fan of the game.
Well, there's some Braves gear. Easy does it. Easy does it. Dancing to a little tequila.
Alex White, the Rockies pitcher, takes a strike. Big man, 6'3", 215, out of Greenville, North Carolina. Played his college ball at the University of North Carolina. And a 130 batting average. And that's strike three called. One out in the third.
Fans get a great bargain to see the Braves versus Nationals with our Steal of the Week. Get club reserve seats for $25 all weekend, a savings of $14 Friday and Sunday, and $24 on Saturday. This deal ends tonight, so hurry and order your tickets now at braves.com/steal.
Ball one to Dexter Fowler, who lined to Freddie Freeman at first his first time up. And the ground to Dan Uggla, who Lets it go right through the wickets. An error for Uggla. And we have not seen many of those since the All-Star break out of Dan at second base.
Well, it's kind of been a rash, though, here lately for the team. 1 in the first game of this series. 3 last night for the team, which was the most since about the 5th game of the season when they made 4 errors, and now 1 here this early tonight.
So Miners got a pitch around that with a hot hitter, Josh Rutledge, up. And ball 1. Dan, only his second error since the All-Star break, 11 in total, as you saw. And keep an eye on Fowler. He's got 12 stolen bases. High fly ball toward left. Costanza going back on the warning track. He'll have room. Fowler will tag, and he will slide in safely at second.
When that one left the bat, I had some concerns. I know that might get out of here. Sounded good, looked good, but stayed in. We're used to that one going out at Coors Field, but not here.
So runner at second for Carlos Gonzalez. He walked his first time up. No score. We're in the top of the 3rd inning.
The reverse is true for this team versus the Braves in that they have been outstanding hitting with runners in scoring position all year. A .285 team average. Gonzalez hitting .291.
Hammered deep and well foul.
Nothing but a strike.
Gonzalez hitting .327 against right-handers, .286 against lefties. The team average, as you see, leads the majors.
Beautiful view of the Atlanta skyline. Sunset at Turner Field. We have no score. Up and away, evens the count. I can't remember, Joe, if we'd seen Jordan Baker behind the plate before.
Once.
And if I remember, he had trouble with a low strike.
He did. He called a high strike. He's the tallest umpire in baseball, but he just doesn't get low enough to really give you that low one, in my opinion.
That almost picked off Pacheco in the on-deck circle.
Got away with one there.
Yeah, try to go in. I don't think they got it in there where they wanted.
We had Jordan Baker behind the plate chip on August 15th against the Padres. Paul Maholm against Edinson Volquez. Maholm got his 11th win.
Line into center. And Bourne got a great jump and had him shaded that way, and he takes away a run-scoring hit. Gonzalez hit one right on the button, and Minor lives to tell the tale. We head to the last of the third inning, and still no score. We still have no score. And if you can't get enough college football, look to Bates and Bowden on Thursdays. James Bates and Tommy Bowden, former player-coach duo, bringing you their take on football in the SEC, ACC, Conference USA, and more. Don't miss the new college football show tomorrow at 7 on Fox Sports South.
Constanza, the International League batting champion with a .314 average, the subject of our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot. Won the title by 3 points over Mauro Gomez and had a 22-game hitting streak right at the end of the season.
You said that a lot better than Chip tried to say it earlier today.
Yes, he did.
International. That's about a 5-syllable word, and that trips him up sometimes.
Ground ball towards second. And there's the first out. White's getting the ball on the ground. That's music to Jim Tracy's ears. He set down 7 consecutive hitters. And here's Mike Minor. Mike 3 for 45 at the plate.
Yeah, but he kind of took matters into his own hands 2 starts ago in San Francisco. Got a hit. I think he drew a walk, scored a couple of runs. Figured if he was going to get some run support, he was going to have to help out.
Every now and then you got to take matters into your own hands.
Here we go. I really stepped in it with that one.
With the old Little League day. Get the win, get a couple hits. You know.
That's off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Janish on your right, just getting the night off. Ben Sheets on the top rail as well. And Mike Minor into center. Fowler misplays it. It's behind him. And Mike will make his way to second base with one out.
High fastball. Even pitchers like those pitches.
They're going on Dexter Fowler, but I think, in all honesty, it was hit so hard that it'd be really hard for him to come up with it. Right, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just one of those ones that he took for granted that it was a pitcher and just didn't realize it was hit as hard as it was.
He just didn't realize he was an athlete.
That too.
I'm feeling sick now as Michael Bourne bats for the runner at second. Another chance for the Braves with a runner in scoring position. They're 0 for their first 2 in that category tonight. Michael walked on 4 pitches to start the game. That didn't sound like it felt very good.
Right off the instep.
As he's walking that off, last night the Nationals hit 6 home runs to beat the Cubs. Tonight they're in the 3rd inning. They lead the Cubs 5-0. They've hit 3 more already. LaRoche, Harper, and Bernardino.
Yeah, Adam hit 2 last night, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
And you said it exactly right. He is heating up. That is a tapper in front of the plate. And Bourne gingerly makes his way down the first base line. That foot is really barking. Another ground ball out puts Minor at third base, but 2 are away from Martin Prado.
That's the last thing you need after pounding one off your foot, is then have to try to leg this out. Still hurting.
Strike 1 to Martin. Prado, the hottest Braves hitter right now. He has an 8-game streak working. 11 hits in his last 33 at bats, including a couple of homers.
As I said before, the Braves, this is the 2nd time through the order. And try to make this guy get the ball up a little bit. His success is down in the zone and getting all those ground balls. Good eye there by Martin.
Wild pitch, but no advance. It came right back off the signage. And no chance at all for Minor to advance. And the Braves have runners at the corners.
That was a some heads up base running by Mike Minor to read that right away. And not just run into an out. White very fortunate there with how that ball came back.
What's on?
I've always thought there ought to be every home team ought to have a place where, if he needs to, can throw a wild pitch to a spot, practice hitting that spot so it comes right back to the catcher, so it maybe catch that guy coming down the third baseline.
Not a bad idea. I mean, it'd take a little bit of courage to try and pull that off, but
well, you got to know where the spot is. The home team are the only ones that know.
It's a big play in hockey, isn't it? Know where the dead spots on the boards are behind the goal?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, there's some rinks that have a little bit more bounce than others, but interesting.
Quick meeting with Alex White. Jason Hayward ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. We're at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Joe, Tom, and Chip with you from Turner Field. We have no score. Game 3 of 4 with the Rockies. Two balls, no strikes.
There was a low call. Fans disagreeing. Box Tracks doesn't.
Well, when you missed a bunch in a row, you usually don't get that borderline call.
Yeah. Line to first. And Pacheco was Johnny on the spot. Tough break for Hayward. That was headed for the right field corner, and the Braves would have been in business. Instead, the inning ends, and we still have no score as we go to the top of the 4th. On Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day.
And don't forget about tomorrow, an early start. The Braves wrap up their Rockies series with an early start at 11:30 a.m. on Sports South. And remember, you can follow along online with play-by-play and live stats only on foxsportssouth.com. Tim Hudson against Julius Chassin in the finale tomorrow. Getaway day.
Jordan Pacheco. Just made a fine play at first base. Probably had to check the webbing after that smash off the bat of Jason Hayward.
And how many times do you see it? Guy makes a good defensive play and he leads off.
You're like a veteran spieler now,
right?
Know?
I mean, all the cliches.
You got them all. So on top of it.
Checo hit a 5th inning home run here yesterday. He's got a new nickname. They call him the Flight Doctor.
I like that a lot. Jumped on an 0-2 hanger. Fourth of the year.
Ground ball to Chipper at third. Well, with 4 homers, maybe not doctor, maybe intern. One away in the 4th. And speaking of home runs, Joe, this has been an odd inning for Mike Minor and the long ball this year, inexplicably.
Nine of the 25 he's allowed. Got to be just a coincidence, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to know a stat like that, Tommy, or do you even think about that?
I wouldn't want to know it because you think about it. You know, it's like all that negative stuff. Oh, I give up most of my home runs in the 4th. Well, as soon as the 4th inning rolls around, you think, okay, well, don't give up a home run this inning, or, you know, gosh, I haven't had a 1-2-3 inning, and well, gosh, I got 2 outs and nobody out. All right, well, let's try. You know, you start having all those negative thoughts in your head, and it's just next thing you know, the last thing you're doing is thinking about pitching.
Was that you're thinking to yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
gave up a 2-run double, so I'm doing all right now.
Sit out there saying, well, you know, I hear Chip and Joe now talking about how I.
Line drive by Ramon Hernandez. Costanza left. He had the green light 3-0, and he's out number 2. What you thinking, caps on, fellas? It's trivia time. Our AT&T Uverse trivia question this evening. Chipper Jones hit 10 or more homers in 18 straight years. Only 2 other players have a current streak of at least 14 seasons of 10 or more homers. Name those 2 other players. Well, the Rockies are here. I'm guessing Todd Helton.
It's a good guess. Has he been playing that long?
14 years, yeah, I think so. I think he's 36 or 7.
Yeah, Jason Giambi on their team too. He's been mainly a pinch hitter, spot starting first baseman for them.
Kind of like A-Rod.
Yeah. David Ortiz.
What about Jeter?
Good change up.
And he's usually right around. It seems like he's right around 10 every year.
So you can follow up with that again. A little bit lower and a little bit further away.
Brian wanted it, but he shook it off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Albert Pujols.
14 years.
And the seats past the Braves dugout. Everybody's all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Adam Dunn probably hadn't been around 14 years, has he?
I don't think so.
Minor gets him with a fastball. Mike's pitching a beauty. 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. Chipper is leading off the home half of the inning, and we're looking for our first run. conclude tonight at Turner Field. A spectacular Atlanta sunset. And no score on our Acura scoreboard as Chipper Jones leads things off against Alex White. .47 pitches for Alex through the first 3 innings. Hey, fellas, your impressions first time through against this Braves lineup for Alex White?
Well, he's what Joe said. Got a good sinker. And, you know, the more he's around the plate with that pitch, the tougher he is. That pitch right there is pretty good, but I'd like to see him work on his delivery a little bit. He slows down a little bit, gives it away a touch, but.
Yeah, I like what I've seen. Haven't seen much in the way of a breaking ball yet. And his fastball tonight, you know, that they say that he can throw as high as 97, but they're trying to get him to stay around 90.
Line drive by Chipper. That'll drop in front of Dexter Fowler.
The harder he throws, the more his pitches flatten out, and then he just backs off and is more of 85% type. He's going to get more action on that sinker. Good start to the inning.
Chipper now 1 hit behind Bill Buckner on the all-time hit list with that single. And a good start indeed. Here's Freddie Freeman. Oh, what a cut. Strike 1. I would think, guys, when you have a pitcher like White down in the zone so much, you get a pitch thigh high. It's like we say, if fastball letter high, it looks gigantic. And Freddie missed it. And now it's an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Some patience required so far tonight. Braves trying to wait and get a good pitch to hit. He hasn't struck anyone out yet. Walked a couple. Hey, food.
Shouldn't Tom have been in that shot?
Yeah, I wonder what you got to do.
Freeman looks at a pitch off the plate, and the Braves in business. 2 on, nobody out.
Tom, do you think that walk was the result of that first pitch hack Freddie had that was all over that pitch and caused him to maybe be a little tentative?
You know, it could have been. I mean, look, I think they know in their scouting reports he likes to swing the bat, and he obviously got away with a mistake there in that first one and didn't want to go back there. So, yeah, I think maybe a combination of after that, getting away with that, he tried to nitpick a little bit, and also maybe knowing that Freddie's aggressive, he was maybe trying to get him to expand his zone a little bit.
Brian McCann's our SunTrust solid performer. He's had terrific career luck against Colorado. And could use some here. Brian's hitless in his last 10 at bats. Chipper started the inning with a single. Freddie Freeman just walked, and now McCann a 1-1 count. Double play ball. Bad hop. The Rockies stay with it. Bad throw. Gets past the first baseman. Chipper will come home and score. And Atlanta gets a big break and an early lead.
That kind of had a bad timing to it from the very beginning. The way that ball bounced up to LeMahieu. May have thrown the timing off for Rutledge. Right there, had to wait for that. Almost had to wait for that hop to come down, and then just a wild throw. I think he was paying more attention to Freddie Freeman, and can't blame him for that, than he was to making a good throw.
So Colorado's porous defense pays dividends for Atlanta. Chipper scores on the play. 1-0 Braves lead it. So 2 Rockies errors tonight, and Ugla an even count.
Braves the last 2 nights, even though they got shut out last night, they hit some hard line drives early in the game right at people. There was a string of them, 3 in a row at the end of the 3rd, start of the 4th inning. And tonight a couple of hard hit balls too, like the rocket Hayward hit last inning, and the one Ugla was robbed on his first time.
So for the Braves, it's their first run in their last 17 innings. Another man in scoring position for Ugla, who was robbed last time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little pop towards second. LeMahieu's going to track it down, and that's the second out. .65 pitches for White, whose spot on the lineup card is due 3rd in the 5th inning. And they'll walk Costanza and go after Mike Minor.
Very dangerous proposition.
Glad you said it first.
Just trying to steal some of your thunder. I knew you were about to start a monologue. Just trying to shorten it.
And here's why Tommy was about to go on a rant.
I mean, this is as pretty a swing as you're going to see right here from a pitcher anyway. Sinker ball up. Ambushed him, and I would suspect he's going to try and do the same thing here again. He's going to look for a pitch up early in the count that he can try and do something with.
2 on, 2 out.
He got a little respect. First pitch breaking ball.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Rutledge has it, steps on the bag, and that retires the side. The Rockies defense gives Atlanta the game's first run. Chipper Jones scores it after he led off the fourth with a single. 1-0 Braves, top of the fourth. As you see our Blimpie game summary.
And some good pitching here again tonight. Mike Minor has continued his good pitching ways. 4 scoreless innings. 3 strikeouts. One of those strikeouts right there on a good fastball. Gotten a little bit of help from his friends along the way. See a nice catch there by Michael Bourne with some runners on base. And for the Colorado Rockies, Alex White, same thing. He's pitched well, but he too has gotten some help from his friends. Gonzalez with a nice catch there, and then Flight Doctor robbing Freddie Freeman right there, but what would have been our extra base hit.
So Minor will face the bottom part of the Colorado order, and decision time for skipper Jim Tracy.
Actually, it was Jason Hayward on that line drive. Sorry.
Brown, LeMahieu, and Alex White are scheduled. Missed with a high fastball, 1-2. That's into the upper deck. Brown's still alive.
Need a shutdown inning here. Come out, put the clamps on them, get your offense back up.
Little squibber towards second. Dan's got this one. And Freeman the stretch. And that's out number 1. The Braves are excited to bring OAR to Turner Field for a free post-game concert after the Saturday, September 15th game against the Washington Nationals. Visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000.
Do we know what OAR stands for? Does anybody?
I don't.
Do not.
On a roll.
Oh, I like that. Oh, the truck is telling us it is of a revolution. I like yours better, Chip.
I was kind of hungry. Thinking about that steak sandwich that Tom had last night. No balls, 2 strikes to DJ LeMahieu. We were off on Saturday. The folks from Big Fox had the game against the Phillies. Any reviews from the Leonard Skinner concert here at the ballpark?
I've not heard.
Joaquin Feinberg said it was outstanding. 2 thumbs up.
So OAR has a tough act to follow. We'll see how they fare later on in the month. And Matt McBride's grabbed a bat. White's given up 1 unearned run, and it appears he'll be done for the night. Dave, how many pitches for White? 71.
I'd be kicking and screaming. You could get 3 outs with 4 pitches.
Still 1-2. Strike 3 at the knees. LeMahieu hoped the up and missed it. No such luck for him.
Good
Minor
breaking
has
ball.
4th strikeout.
No? Change up, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Change up into a righty. It's a nice pitch.
So White, 4 innings, 1 unearned run, 2 hits. He did walk 4 men, and no strikeouts. And on the short end of a 1-0 game, and no chance to win it.
Yeah, nice going. Had a double play ball last inning that probably could have got you out of the inning and given you another inning. Instead, we made an error to give up a run. We'll see if we can pick you up and get you no decision. And I guarantee you, somewhere in his mind right now, he's saying, "You've got to be kidding me."
McBride a fly ball to right. Jason Hayward's going to track it down, and Mike Minor is settling in nicely. He's retired 8 straight, and he leads 1-0. by the Home Depot, by AT&T, and by Blimpie. Braves by a run as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Fans, if you can't get enough college football, look to Bates and Bowden on Thursdays. James Bates and Tommy Bowden form a player-coach duo bringing you their take on football in the SEC, ACC, Conference USA, and more. Don't miss the new college football show tomorrow at 7 on Fox Sports South.
So Alex White is done for the Rockies after 71 pitches. And Adam Ottavino is on for the 45th time for Colorado. Tom had a laundry list of questions for Jim Tracy before the game about how this pitching setup works. And one of them was, and we asked it last night, does each starter have a specific man to follow him in rotation? And the answer to that is no, but there are 3 specific piggyback starters. And Ottavino is the 3rd of the 3 we've seen so far in the series.
Well, that would stand to reason because he won 3 games in August in which he pitched at least 3 innings of relief.
And the way it works, those 3 men pitch every 3rd day. And no more than 50 pitches backing up the Colorado starter. And then after that, Jim Tracy can mix and match with his bullpen, which is well stocked. I think they have 10 guys in their bullpen. And even before the September call-ups, they had 8 pitchers in their bullpen before rosters expanded.
So Ottavino, Torres, and who's the other piggyback guy? Got to be Chatwood?
Renicky.
Oh, yeah.
Line drive by Bourne into right field. He's picked up his first base hit of the night. And a chance to do some running here and extend this Atlanta lead.
Yeah, if his foot's okay. Oh, and they changed pitchers between innings. Chip was shouting out his name and scared Tom and I to death. I thought you said we were out of Vino.
I was starting to sweat a little bit.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that, boys.
Martinez grounded out and walked. Bourne started, then stopped, and Prado took high.
Foul tip came off of his right foot. What we thought was the instep of his right foot. That's your crossover foot and leg, and the one you have to push off on for a stolen base after the left foot crosses over in front of the right. And that would be the least favorite foot to foul one off if you're a base stealer, because of the pressure you put on that foot trying to get a good jump.
That one gets away from Hernandez, and Bourne makes his way to second base.
Catcher too concerned about the base runner to worry himself about the pitch. It's a wild pitch, scored a wild pitch, but it could easily be called a lazy pass ball.
They've had a bunch of those amongst the Colorado catching corps. Number 1 man, the youngster Willen Rosario had 15 pass balls coming into this series. That one, a wild pitch.
Not so long ago, when this club was in the World Series playing the Red Sox, one of the things they really worked on in spring training was their defense. And I remember some of the players in Clint Hurdle talking about how they made an honest effort in spring training to never let the baseball hit the ground when they were going through their fundamental drills. And somehow having that ingrained in their thought process really improved their defense that year.
A couple of years ago, they had, I believe, a record-setting defensive season. Fewest errors in the history of the game.
Yeah, that's right, Chip. Exactly right. And it was that season.
I'll look up the number, but that was that remarkable October. 21 wins in 22 games in 2007. They overcame an 18-27 start to win the National League Championship that year. And a strike for Prado fills up the count.
Pretty good 3-1 pitch there. Looked like a breaking ball. Ottavino in the mid-90s with his fastball and the slider that you just saw.
That's line foul.
This was 94, shoulder high.
Yep, in that 2000 season, Joe, the Rockies had a .989 fielding percentage.
What year was that?
2007. 68 errors all year. High pop fly, shallow right. And no advance by Michael Bourne. Braves 0 for 8 with a runner in scoring position tonight, leading 1-0.
That's another one of those at bats, though, and wasn't against a pitcher that's all that easy to hang in there on. But Martin got ahead in the count 3-1. He made a good pitch to go 3-2, but couldn't get the runner over to third. And I say good pitch, a good pitcher's pitch.
Make no mistake about it, it's a rut. It's a rut that the Braves have been in for quite some time. So far, they're 2 for 24 with runners in scoring position in this series. Jason Hayward takes another crack at it. He's 0 for 2, but was robbed last time up. That was that bullet hit to Jordan Pacheco.
Runners on the corners and that close to probably clearing the bases. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a hard time remembering that this is not Alex White. I mean, knowing that he hadn't really pitched in that much trouble, gave up an unearned run, and he's out of the ball game. But that, well, he's just with that last fastball. I'm thinking, well, he's getting up in the zone, his right sinker, and then I realize, oh, that's not Alex White.
But he's behind Hayward, 3 balls and a strike. He pitched high again. Two on, 1 out. Here's Chipper.
Keeps trying to hit that outside corner, but he can't find it.
One ball, one strike.
Took a little off with this one. Got more action on it.
Hot smash towards second. The flip to Rutledge. Throw to first in time. And a double play retires the side. LeMahieu to Rutledge to Pacheco. And the Braves are out of luck in the 5th inning, but lead 1-0 with the top of the Rockies order coming up. Handed a 1-0 lead. The Rockies made an error that scored Chipper Jones from second base. That run came across in the 4th inning. And Dexter Fowler's ready to go for the 3rd time tonight. Fowler has lined out and he's reached on an error. Want to put this guy on. 3 balls, no strikes. And that's what Mike did. A 5-pitch walk. Minor's 3rd walk of the ball game. Josh Rutledge, the hitter. Despite an 0 for 2 night, he's hitting .327 for the year. And then he's followed by our Delta Airlines on deck batter, a red hot Carlos Gonzalez.
Rutledge had a base hit his first at bat in this series. He's gone 0 for 10 since. Including 3 strikeouts last night.
One-run game, it's a fast guy on first. This is one of those situations where you could easily get a little bit too caught up in trying to prevent a stolen base and forget trying to make a quality pitch to the hitter.
Double play ball. Ugla turns it. 2 outs.
That's a high fastball.
Yeah, a little bit up in the zone, but sometimes you got to get away with some mistakes, and Mike got away with one right there. A nice turn by Dan and Martin up the middle.
So again, you have the option of pitching carefully to Carlos Gonzalez with the bases empty and 2 outs. Mike walked him in the first. Gonzalez lined out in the third. He's going to bounce out to second. And Ugla takes care of that. 6th inning, a special game brewing for Mike Minor, who leads 1-0.
And the cool train. Dan Ugla hit a rope his first time up tonight, back in the lineup, and what a play by Carlos Gonzalez, or Cargo as he is known in Denver. Great diving catch to rob Ugla of extra bases. That was a Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. My beer.
Freddie Freeman leads off the 6th. As good a player as Carlos Gonzalez is, and he's, I think, a superstar. Just think of how much more attention he'd get if he played outside of Denver. He can do everything.
Yeah, and get more respect for the numbers he puts up.
He's much more of a household name, that's for sure.
I'd pay to watch him play every day.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. You, I don't know.
You're not paying to go to a baseball game every day. No way.
Season tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right behind the on deck circle.
There's a strike. It's not a bad seat either. Ottavino now a full count. Gio Gonzalez starting for Washington tonight. Flirted with a no-hit bid. He lost it in the 6th inning, but he's beating the Cubs 6-0 tonight at Nationals Park. Braves began play 7 1/2 games off the Eastern pace.
Yeah, I believe that's the biggest deficit of the year, isn't it? 7.5.
Double check. Sounds about right.
to make a run at the division title, which there's still time for, the Braves are going to have to get some help from some other teams because they only have 3 games left with the Nationals, while I think the Phillies have 6 or more.
I think it's 6. A home and home series with them.
So they could do some damage and help the Braves out.
Well, before this stretch, as Freeman walks, remember the Braves went to Washington, lost the first 2 games of that series. Chris Medlin pitched that marvelous game against the Nationals. Then went to San Francisco and San Diego. The Braves at their lowest on the road trip were 7 back. Atlanta got the deficit down to 4 games before the finale of the road trip, but haven't been able to continue that momentum here at home. That's hit toward LeMahieu at second. Rutledge the turn and another double play.
Second in as many innings for the guy who's out of wine out there. That one was hit hard, and a good turn to get that going by LeMahieu.
So while the Braves need some help as far as the East is concerned, they need only worry about themselves as far as the wild card's concerned. And you can make your plans to get postseason tickets for the Braves. As Dan Uggla hits a little pop into shallow right. LeMahieu's under it and has it. Tickets go on sale for the postseason Wednesday, September 12th. Braves.com/postseason's the place to visit. We have a 1-0 score as we've completed 6 at Turner Field. Mike Minor back to work for the Braves with the middle of the Rockies order due. Nothing. One more game left with the Rockies. It's a quick turnaround. Here's our Jamison in probable starters.
Good to have Tim Hudson out there for the finale on getaway day against Julius Chassin, a guy who does work quickly as well. 2-4 on the year. He's the guy that got smoked that line drive last year, wasn't he? And suffered a fracture in his neck.
And a line drive by Jordan Pacheco breaks up Mike Minor's no-hit bid.
Keeps this streak alive, right?
14 games. And the crowd applauds Minor's effort. And now McCann out for a visit as Mike will go to the stretch.
He's got it up a little bit. Is it Brandon McCarthy for the A's? Got hit in the head today with a line drive. Oof.
Here's Ramon Hernandez. He swung at the first pitch after Minor walked 2 batters in a row in the first inning. Then had a 3-0 count and lined out his first time. Pitch cut on and missed. The throw to second not in time. And Pacheco in with his 6th stolen base.
This guy's been impressive, hasn't he? Okay, we already talked about having been so versatile for the Rockies and can play different positions.
Yeah, he's a catcher by trade. That's where he spent most of his time as a position player in the Rockies minor league system. But playing first base for Todd Helton now. In scoring position for Hernandez.
A couple of good pitches to start him because he is a good fastball hitter. Avilan and Guerin loosening up in the Atlanta pen.
Did he go? He went. And Minor gets a big first out.
Yes, he did. Good call by Gary Darling.
Looking at that list over there, Laser's got going. He's got to get here about 30 minutes earlier than he used to write all those names down, doesn't he?
He was here at 9:30 this morning, looking at his roster. He made a note for me. It's pretty impressive here. He noticed this as he was making out his roster of players. The Braves only have 3 players on their 40-man roster that aren't here, that aren't active or on the DL. 40-man roster, there's only 3 of them that aren't here, either as an active player or on the DL. There it is, on the red, in the red on the right. That's all the Braves pitchers and bench players, and on the left, the blue. That's the Rockies, and there's Laser.
It may not look like much, but if you get a chance, you got to zoom in on how beautiful the handwriting is on that thing. That in and of itself would take a long time. I mean, look at that. That's not chicken scratch there. That is some beautiful penmanship.
He can keep the best golf scorecard I've ever seen. He always seems to shoot 70, though.
Best club in the bag is his eraser.
Mm-hmm.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Chris Nelson. Hernandez couldn't get Pacheco to third. Nelson will try to chase him home with 1 out.
I was wrong about Chassin. It wasn't him that got hit with the line drive. It was Nicasio.
Oh, Juan Nicasio?
Yeah.
Foul back. 9 o'clock in Atlanta. Mike Minor took a no-hitter into the 7th. He's allowed just 1 hit. He's struck out 5. He's walked 3. He leads 1-0. Courtesy of some sloppy Colorado defense in the 4th inning. Chipper Jones scored on a throwing error. That is it. Just 4 total hits tonight for both clubs. Minor takes care of Nelson with some high heat.
Struck him out on a fastball his last time up. Big out.
He reared back for a little extra on that one.
Andrew Brown, the Rockies' final hope in the 7th. He's 0 for 2. Is it just the light, or does the pine tar on Brown's bat look purple?
Probably purple from his gloves.
I don't know that I can help you.
That's right. I'm asking the wrong guy. Tom?
I'm saying it's got a little bit of the dye off his batting gloves.
I don't think I've ever seen purple pine tar before. That's off the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. Brown walks on 4 pitches. 2 on, 2 out. Roger McDowell will make his way to the mound. Braves would love to get Minor through this 7th inning for his spots due second when the Braves hit. Catch Chipper and the Braves here at Turner Field as they close out the regular season and look for a trip to the playoffs. The Marlins will be here for their final visit of the 2012 season. They're here September 25th, 26th, and 27th. Get your tickets online at Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000.
That's a good reason to come watch, but they will also be very important games as they relate to the postseason too, and the Braves' chances. So you're going to see some heated games coming up in that next homestand that are very important to Atlanta.
And then, of course, the final club in for regular season play is the Mets. We've talked about it a couple of times. How appropriate is that? Final home games for Chipper against New York. So we hope you make your plans to join us. Only 10 home games left for Braves after tonight. DJ LeMahieu. And a home run cut. Strike 1.
That was a good pitch, just off. He's got good life on his fastball tonight. Not just in velocity, but he's got good movement on it.
Yeah, it seems like it has that little extra giddy up on it. Coming out good.
.113 pitches is Minor's season high. That came back in late May. He's thrown 106 so far tonight. Two balls and a strike. Pacheco at second, Brown at first. Minor battles back. Tommy, what do you do now? 2-2.
Well, I know what I'd do. I don't know what Mike Minor's going to do here, but tough call right here. I just threw him a fastball that he was late on. There's always that school of thought. You don't want to speed his bat back up with a changeup. His changeup's been awful good tonight. Wouldn't mind seeing him try and get him to chase a changeup down and away.
Foul ball at the plate. We'll do it again.
Like a breaking ball.
He hasn't thrown many tonight. That was a good choice too.
Well, you really want to try and get the decision right here. You don't want to get into a 3-2 count and have the base runners moving in a 1-run game. So see if he comes back with something hard in here, or maybe he does take a shot at a changeup away.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Outside corner. Inning over.
Got him looking for the changeup.
Seven strikeouts for Mike Minor through 7 innings. And right down the middle, LeMahieu took it. And the Braves maintain a 1-0 lead. Seven men, and we'll see if he continues as the Braves come up in this 7th inning. He's due second behind Jose Costanza. Costanza's grounded out and has been walked intentionally. Adam Ottavino back out there for Colorado, his 3rd inning of relief. And Costanza looks at ball 1. Joe mentioned a few moments ago how many of the Braves 40-man roster guys are with the ball club right now. They're eagerly awaiting the return of Andrelton Simmons, who is rehabbing in Rome tonight. Last report, Andrelton had a base hit in his rehab assignment this evening.
He was 1 for 3 in his first game at Mississippi, too.
That was 2 days ago. Came back to Atlanta yesterday. Rome tonight, Lynchburg tomorrow, and then we'll see whether he'll be activated for the Braves on the road trip in New York. Way high to Costanza. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not only do the Braves have the opportunity to expand rosters with players, but coaches too. Mississippi hitting coach Gary Ingram's with us, and Rome pitching coach Derek Lewis is on the bench with Freddie Gonzalez tonight. It's a nice reward for those men. Their hard work in their minor league season. A line drive, foul by Costanza.
Chris Van Zandt, Ben Acree, trying to find enough lockers for everybody.
Double up. Well, there's one we know nobody wants.
Yes. There's Bill Flaherty getting ready for what looks like the 8th inning as Pasternicki's out on deck for Minor.
And leadoff walk. That helps. And that is the end of the line for Mike Minor. What a night. In line for his 8th win if the Braves can maintain the lead tonight. And Tyler Pasternicki will pinch hit for him. This is an important game, quite obviously, for Atlanta, but these are important at bats for guys like Tyler. Costanza's running. The pitch high. The throw to second. Late. Costanza went on the first move and is in scoring position with nobody out.
It's his 4th swipe of the year in only 19 games, and he has not been caught.
Hernandez made that a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Costanza got a good jump.
He's got a quick release and a strong arm. That's a big run for the Braves so they can get Jose around here in the 8th inning.
Pasternicki lays down the bunt, and it's a perfect bunt. Runner to third for Pasternicki, a sacrifice. And the reason I say these are important at bats for guys like Tyler, you never know what role he would have should you make the playoffs. He might make the playoff roster because he can do that.
Yeah, you have to have guys that are able to do that. You always want to have a couple of natural shortstops on your playoff roster, and until they figure out what's going on with Simmons, then Tyler's still in the mix.
Ottavino, too, was not listening to his catcher, who was pointing to third base.
And he'll be taken down by Jim Tracy after 2 innings and 1/3 of relief. 1-0 Atlanta. Big insurance run 90 feet away in the 7th. Academy Sports and Outdoors, by Georgia Power, by Burger King, and by Ram Trucks. Well, guys, this 7th inning sets up nicely for the Braves. They get a leadoff walk, a stolen base, and a sacrifice. And now you have Michael Bourne in the batter's box. The Braves looking tonight for their first hit with a runner in scoring position. That has not been a problem for Michael Bourne this year.
Not at all. The Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard tied with Buster Posey for the highest average in the National League in this situation, and also Miguel Montero at 350.
The Rockies play the infield in. Colorado goes to its bullpen. Snap throw back to third, and what a pickup by Nelson, with the base runner and baseball arriving at the bag at the same time. Wow.
That was a set play. That was a pickoff attempt. This is like a pitch out. Nelson was moving over there to cover, and that was almost down the line. You're right, Chip. Great play.
So Matt Reynolds lives in Knoxville, Tennessee in the offseason. His second full season with Colorado, and it's been a full season. Already 63 outings for him.
A lot of strikeouts in his 53 innings, too. Fastball, slider, split finger pitch.
Michael wishes he had that one back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Bourne is down on strikes. Atlanta's 0 for 10 tonight in RISP.
First strikeout of the night for Atlanta. Had Laser Baker looking it up. Last time the Braves won a whole game without having at least 1 strikeout was in July of 2009.
So Reynolds does the job, takes care of Michael Bourne. Jim Tracy goes back to his Rockies bullpen, trying to keep the game 1-0. In the bottom of the 7th inning, couple of changes for Colorado as Martin Prado gets ready to hit for the Braves. Jonathan Herrera takes over at second base. He'll bat in the number 9 spot. And the Rockies bring on their 4th pitcher of the ball game, a right-hander to face Martin Prado. It's Will Harris.
He's been pretty impressive for the Rockies in his first 11 games with 11 strikeouts, including 2 strikeouts in an inning here on Monday night or Monday afternoon. Low to mid 90s fastball, curveball, and a once in a while changeup.
So after the Bourne strikeout, the Rockies infield defense can back up to normal depth. Martin Prado, with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, has excelled in this situation. Atlanta leads by 1 run. Up and away, ball 2.
Based on Harris's split, you'd think Jim Tracy would have waited and brought him in to face Hayward. Lefties are hitting 125 off him. Righties are hitting 320. It's kind of an odd split for a pitcher. Completely backwards.
There's a strike. Harris was born in. Oh, wrong Harris. I was going to read Brendan Harris. A check swing strike. Texas, lives in Slidell, Louisiana, went to LSU. Costanza leadoff walk, a stolen base, took third on a sacrifice. Ooh. And Prado took ball 3.
Good.
Jim Tracy wants to know where that one was.
Perfect pitch. Again, down in the zone. Baker has been not all that giving on the low strike.
Swing and a miss. The Rockies bullpen's pitching beautiful baseball. They've got a couple of double plays and a couple of big strikeouts. 1-0. Atlanta maintains the lead. Nothing. And Joe, Tom, time for our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
Well, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the defense or lack thereof for the Colorado Rockies. Double play ball, but Rutledge let this one fly a little wide of the mark. It bounced into the dugout and allowed Chipper Jones to score for the only run of the game so far. And it gives the Rockies 106 errors. That's the most in the National League.
Changes for Atlanta. Paul Janisch takes over at shortstop. Martin Prado moves out to left. The AT&T call to the bullpen answered by Eric O'Flaherty.
The fine Irish left-hander.
Sure enough, Janisch gets the first chance. One man down. It may seem like an inconsequential move, but you cannot help but respect what Martin Prado has done for this ball club defensively this year. We've talked a lot about Janisch. He's played second base, shortstop, left field, first base, third base, and has done an amazing job.
And make no mistake about it, he could play center if you needed him to. He could play right, and we have always assumed that before the rosters are expanded, he'd be your emergency catcher too.
Top of the order, and Dexter Fowler.
Now that is an athlete.
I didn't know what you were doing pointing on me like that. I started getting nervous.
I set him up for that.
Yeah, I mean,
350 down the middle.
Okay. I agree. He is an athlete. A tremendous asset to have in your team.
I know Joe has used this term a lot. He's a baseball player, and I don't think you guys, as former major league players, can give a guy higher praise than that, can you?
No. You call a guy a baseball player or a gamer, that's lofty praise.
think Chipper's guarding the line.
He's as close to third base as Murph used to be when he take his lead off of first.
Wow.
We used to call it the heart attack lead. You know, if you had a heart attack, you'd be safe.
Oh, man. 3 balls and a strike. Fowler walks. And this is usually an area where Dexter does a lot of damage. 7th inning or later, he's been one of the best hitters in the National League this year. Flaherty, though, walks him, and Fowler represents the tying run.
Well, Minor did a nice job of not paying too much attention to the base runner his last time and getting a ground ball double play, and Eric needs to do the same thing right here. You want to keep Fowler close, obviously, and not give him the bag, but ultimately you don't want to take your focus away from that guy in the batter's box.
Rutledge is the man that hit into that twin killing back in the 6th inning. And takes a called strike.
When Pacheco ran in the 7th inning, he ran early in the count. But that was with nobody out.
Line into left center field. That's going to get down. Fowler around second. Big strides. He's at third with 1 out. Now you've got big trouble. Or Carlos Gonzalez is coming up.
Kind of like a cutter. Stayed right in the middle of the plate. As Fowler was making his way to third, I wondered if tonight might be a 1+ inning night for that guy, Craig Kimbrell.
Carr goes 0 for 2 with a walk. He's 4 for 10 so far in the series, and he's hit the left-hander Eric O'Flaherty very well. And 286 against lefties for the season. Ooh, there's that low strike. Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Had a little zip on it too at 92. Trouble with Gonzalez. Did you see that pitch? And again, very comparable to the one that Harris didn't get last inning.
I think that hit the umpire flush. Did that get tipped?
I don't think it got tipped. I think it saved a run by hitting him.
Right on the right elbow, it appeared. And now first base umpire Gary Darling is going to come in and check on Jordan Baker. Ken, I don't think got a glove on it.
Maybe right in the bicep. Sounded like skin and it looked like it. That would hurt.
Well, it was painful to him, but helpful for the Braves, that's for sure.
That saved a run.
And he was asking the other umpires if they heard a tip, and it was not tipped.
You may not be real antsy to raise that right arm for a strike call either.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch here, 2-2. Swing and a miss, 2 outs.
Turned it over a little, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Good pitch out over the plate, but down. It's a tough one for the hitters to lay off.
So Eric O'Flaherty retires 2 of the 4 hitters he saw in the 8th inning. He departs with runners at the corners. Pacheco is coming out, and Craig Kimbrell is going to come on in the 8th inning. Good call, Joe Simpson. Big game for Atlanta, leading 1-0. In by the Georgia Lottery and by McDonald's. Well, fellas, in the era of specialization when it comes to managing bullpens, this is something you don't see too frequently. The Braves closer Craig Kimbrell is on in the 8th inning, answering an AT&T call to the bullpen with 2 Rockies runners on and 2 outs in a 1-0 game.
The last time he worked an inning plus was April 21st of 2011, and he's only done it twice in his career.
Well, your safe situation is not always technically in the 9th inning. This is it right here.
It blew a fastball right by Jordan Pacheco, who has one of the 2 Rockies hits.
Yeah. Nail it down now and worry about next inning. Decide to throw him a breaking ball off the plate or for not a strike to see if he'll chase it. Brian McCann's got to keep it in front of him.
Yeah, this is where you've got to have a lot of trust in that guy behind the plate. If you are going to throw it and it's in the dirt, that he's going to block it.
Runner at first goes, and McCann did stop it. Somehow that thing was humming.
Yeah, that was by sheer will right there. That was so hard.
And that got skinned.
Yeah, that was. You don't have a chance to do everything right there. You just got to find a way, and Mac barehanded it pretty much.
87-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Rutledge was running on that pitch. He's credited with a stolen base. He's at second now with a 1-2 count. No swing. It's 2-2.
Another good stop by Brian.
Again, no swing.
couple of pretty good pitches that he's laid off.
I'm going to say that first breaking ball wasn't close, but those last two, that's some pretty good hitting to lay off of those two pitches.
The duel continues with a full count.
He'll be sitting dead red here.
And he had a pretty good cut. Checo's 14-game hitting streak now is the second longest in the National League to Aoki of Milwaukee, who had a 15-gamer earlier this year. Now he awaits another full count pitch. It's the high fastball. Pacheco strikes out the Rocky Strand runners at second and third and failed to break through again in Atlanta. Braves 1, Rockies nothing. Protects a 1-0 Atlanta lead, and Jason Hayward ready to go in the 8th inning, as is Chipper Jones. Our trivia question: Chipper's homered 18 straight seasons, 10 times or more. Only 2 other players have a current streak of 14 seasons with 10 or more homers. Can you name those other 2 hitters? And Hayward with a bunt try. It's a great try.
They're going to give it to you. Take it.
And I love it that he recognized that. And just another, give him something else to think about tomorrow. That's great. Look how deep Nelson was. Didn't have to be a perfect bunt. In fact, it was a hard one. Just keep it fair.
Let everybody think about the trivia question for a moment as Chipper's up with a man at first and nobody out.
Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Career active leaders with home runs against the Rockies. Chipper at the top of the list. Beltre, who used to play in the West, along with Matt Kemp, second and third. They played against the Rockies a whole lot more than Chipper has. Well, maybe not over an 18 or 19-year career, maybe not, but a lot of opportunities. On the trivia thing, I'm going Alex Rodriguez and Andrew Jones.
I like A-Rod. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to take the bait on Todd Helton, but I will. I'm going to go Helton and Soriano.
No balls and a strike. I'm going to go Helton and A-Rod.
I thought about Konerko too. Man.
I thought A-Rod was the hard one.
I think Tommy's phone died. That's why I didn't get.
No, it's still very much active.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Kenny Williams, the general manager of the White Sox, paid Konerko a great compliment. You know, they've hired Robin Ventura, no managerial experience, to lead the White Sox. Paul Konerko's on his list as one of those guys that could manage in the major leagues and step in and command the respect of the locker room.
I know Greg Walker sings a lot after working with him in Chicago. He thinks he is a legitimate Hall of Fame contender.
And Chipper chased a pitch off the plate and is the first out of the 8th inning. Here's Freddie. He's walked twice and he's flied out to right. Fly ball to right. Brown is there. Back to first is Hayward. 2 outs. In the Colorado 9th, they have Hernandez, Nelson, and Brown scheduled. No Kimbrel will come on and work the 9th inning. We're not there yet. Brian McCann a chance to do some damage. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Outfield playing deep, try to cut off an extra base hit that might score Jason Hayward. From an extra base standpoint, it's been a while for Brian McCann. His last extra base hit July 31st against Miami. He had a double and a home run in that game, but no extra base hits in his last 79 at bats, including tonight.
Back our way and into the upper deck. Quickly 0-2.
I think that shoulder has bothered Brian a lot longer and a lot more than we knew, up until the point where he finally had to get a cortisone shot. He got his second one Saturday.
Oh, Hayward started and went back to first after the pitch out. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and that retires the side. A bunt single started the 8th inning, but the Braves strand Jason Hayward. Atlanta leads 1-0. Craig Kimbrel out for the 9th inning. Braves run is an unearned run. The Braves are 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And thanks to a Colorado error, Chipper Jones scored from second base.
Got a high hop to LeMahieu, who threw his timing off a little bit, and then Rutledge was paying more attention to Freddie Freeman than he should have and threw it in the dugout.
Craig Kimbrell will try to nail it down in the 9th inning. We'll talk about this crazy game tonight with you on Braves Live, presented by AT&T. We'll hear from Braves manager Freddie Gonzalez, sound from the locker room, and we'll have all of tonight's highlights. Outstanding pitching, frankly, from both clubs. Let's hope Kimbrell continues his end of the deal as he faces the middle of the Rockies order. Ramon Hernandez greets him first.
Call on the first pitch. This guy's geared up for a fastball. Again, he's a good fastball hitter. He started him with a curve.
That disappeared. 0-2.
Don't make an 0-2 mistake here to the catcher.
We've seen that movie before, haven't we?
Throwing that same pitch.
Outside corner, Hernandez is down on strikes.
Did he have a beef? Nope.
It's a strike. He hasn't called it much tonight, but it's a strike.
So base is empty for Tyler Colvin. He'll come on and pinch hit. Colvin celebrating his 27th birthday today. Jason Giambi's on deck.
It's one thing to come off the bench and try to hit cold as a pinch hitter. It's another thing entirely to come off the bench and try to hit someone like Craig Kimbrell. You've been sitting all night. You better be loose.
Well, Colvin ought to be now. He's had a couple of healthy cuts. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He was late.
Late again. 2 outs. And Jason Giambi will be Rockies hitter. Giambi does have a pinch hit homer this year. He's 7 for 24 off the bench. And it's his only home run this season. .429 lifetime homers. strike.
Overthrew the curveball before, backed off that one a little bit. But good action, good pitch.
One more strike will get it done.
Brian wanted that fastball up. He delivered it there. Good result. Quick turnaround for tomorrow's game. I'd like him to be available tomorrow, so a quick finish here to this game would certainly help give Freddie Gonzalez the room and perhaps to use Craig again tomorrow. This will be pitch number 20.
Back to that high fastball.
He did, but it missed. Full count.
I get a little closer to the plate.
He lost Giambi with a breaking ball. And the go-ahead run comes to the plate in the form of Willen Rosario, the slugging Rockies catcher. And Colorado will send a pinch runner to first. Charlie Blackmon pitch runs. This young man can really hit. Good speed Blackmon, good lead Blackmon. Strike one.
Outfield about as deep as they can get without being on the warning track. Michael Bourne, you see how deep he is. He's probably only 2 or 3 steps from the warning track. And this guy's got power to all fields.
Again, Kimbrel gets to 2 strikes. Got 2 strikes on Giambi and threw a couple of breaking balls. Let's see what he does to Rosario here. 0-2.
I would mess around too much. Take a shot at a curveball here, maybe away, and then if not, go right back to that high fastball.
I didn't like the 3-2 curveball to Giambi.
I think that's the only pitch he had a chance to get lucky and catch up to. Yeah.
So he shows in the breaking ball off the plate. Now it's 1-2. Struck him out, and that's your ball game. First multi-inning save for Craig Kimbrel, and the Braves are gift-wrapped a 1-0 victory in a Colorado throwing error. Great pitching by Mike Minor, Eric O'Flaherty, and Craig Kimbrel. The Braves fire a 2-hit shutout at Colorado and take a 2-1 lead in the series.
And the Toyota play of the game is the work of Mike Minor, who tonight worked 7 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball. The only hit he allowed was leading off the 7th inning to Jordan Pacheco. Got a nice DP turn behind him in the 6th. Here's the base hit, the only one he allowed all night. Toyota play of the game is his good effort tonight, and he gets the W.
Second career 4 strikeout game for Craig Kimbrel as he earns the save for Mike Minor, who runs his record to 8-10 for the season. Alex White, the tough luck loser for Colorado, 1 unearned run in 4 innings as the Braves beat him 1-0 tonight's final score. Back with more from Turner Field after this.